Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Tabmock99. Now, if there's one thing Mortal Kombat's known for, it's its copious amounts of blood, as well as its rich and vibrant storyline. Actually, that's two things. Well, usually on this channel we focus on the storyline, but today we're going to take a different track and focus on the blood. Specifically, the different colors of blood found in Mortal Kombat. This video comes from special request from Lumen, who says, I suggest a vid on blood color, given how Geras, Kollector, and Frost had different colored blood before launch. Well, that's a good point, so let's get into that. Now, in the Mortal Kombat soundtrack, there's a song called We All Bleed Red, which is funny because in Mortal Kombat, we don't all bleed red. Now, let me take you all the way back to the beginning, back to '93, before Mortal Kombat ever had a multi-platinum selling CD. Back in the first Mortal Kombat game on the Super Nintendo, they took out all the blood and replaced it with sweat. At least, everyone called it sweat. Now, the Super Nintendo port was outsold by Sega as much as 8-1 in a lot of retail stores, and Nintendo quickly learned their lesson. They never censored a Mortal Kombat game ever again. Now, there have been some attempts by fans to hack the game and put the blood back into it, but that's a subject for another day. In the meantime, like I said, Nintendo changed their tune with Mortal Kombat 2 and they released all the blood uncensored. Except, of course, in the Japanese version for Super Famicom. On this one, all the blood was turned bright green. It looks like Nintendo of Japan was still into censoring the violence. And you know, a part of me wonders if that bright green blood was part of the inspiration for Mortal Kombat 3, because Mortal Kombat 3 was really the first official time we saw different colored blood for anybody. Like the Cyber Ninjas, their blood was turned black in this game. Actually, that's probably not even blood, that's motor oil. Sheeva's blood was turned green. Now, this choice was a little unusual because Shokan had always had red blood up till now. Goro and Kintaro had always had red blood. In fact, in MK Trilogy, we see Goro, Kintaro, and Sheeva fight side by side in the same game. Goro and Kintaro still bleed red, and only Sheeva's is turned green for some reason. Weird. Also, Motaro, a member of the rival species, the Centaurians, also bleeds green. Not to mention the best known example, Reptile's blood in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was also turned green. But the weird thing is, by the time the next installment was released, the development team seems to have forgotten all about that. In Mortal Kombat 4, Reptile's blood is back to being red again. They would go back and forth on what to do with Reptile's blood in the next few installments. And not just him either. The Cyber Ninjas, Cyrax and Sektor, also have red blood in Mortal Kombat Gold. And then, as if by magic, blood magic? They remembered all about it again for the next installment, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Cyrax is back to bleeding out bubble and crude. Oil, that is. And Reptile's gone back to bleeding green. Hey, you know what? Maybe that's supposed to be acid. In Armageddon, he also bleeds green. In fact, in the whole 3D era, the only time they've deviated from that is with MK Shaolin monks, where his blood is red. Speaking of Reptile, there's other members of his species as well. How does their blood look? Well, it depends. The male Chameleon, with a C, usually bleeds red, unless he's imitating Reptile, in which case it's green. What about the female Chameleon? Well, she only bleeds red, like all the time. At least, that's how it is in MK Trilogy. In MK Armageddon, it's different because both chameleons bleed green. Which is funny because the color of his blood is really the strongest hint that you get in-game about his species. Also in the 3D era, Noob Saibot bleeds black for the first time. This makes sense for Smoke since he is a cyborg, but it also makes sense for Noob Saibot in some way since the darkness has now completely taken him over. Sheeva now has red blood again, which is consistent with all the Shokan. Goro, Kintaro, Sheeva, all of them have red blood in the 3D era. In fact, so does Motaro. Now, maybe that's because he's no longer a Centaurian, now that he's been turned into a Minotaur. Then again, maybe not. With the Mortal Kombat 9 reboot, they've hung on to some of these changes. Noob Saibot's blood is still black, and Sheeva's blood is red, just like all the other Shokan. The Cyber Ninjas have retained their black blood, or oil, and Reptile's retained his green blood, or acid. And in Mortal Kombat X, the Cyborgs, well, just Tri-Borg, I guess, has black blood, and Reptile's is green again. And this game also marks the first appearance of D'Vorah, whose blood appears as bright blue. Which brings us to the latest installment, Mortal Kombat 11. Like the comment said in the beginning, some of the characters had different colored blood early on, and they changed it just before release. This footage of Geras shows him with bright blue blood, even though that's been changed to red in the final build. D'Vorah's blood is still blue though, which I think would bug a lot of people if they changed it. Noob Saibot's blood got changed to red though. Huh. Cyrax and Sektor also appear in this game, as NPCs you can only fight against in story mode. And for their blood, they're back in black. Now surprisingly, the guests get the special multicolored blood treatment. Spawn's blood is green, just like it is in the comics, while RoboCop's is black, kinda like the Cyber Ninjas. And you know, what I think is one of the best parts is one of the intro dialogues that directly addresses the whole Shokan green blood controversy.
I cannot wait to sip your green blood.
Shokan blood runs red, Scarlet.
You must be from a different timeline.
So there's not really a whole lot else I can say about their blood colors when it comes to the lore, but do you remember in MK9 that Rainbow Kombat mode? With every hit, you'd see all the different colors of the rainbow depicted. Well, check this out. That mode is coming back to Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 Plus. Now, check out this video clip I got from the creator, the Druzis.
To fight.
So for more about that project and related projects, check out their website, www.mortalkombatplus.com. They also have a thriving Discord community, and I'll put the link to that in the description below. I also have to give a shout out to my buddy Fatalcade for giving me a hand with some of the MK11 footage he captured back when we attended the MK11 reveal event for Mortal Kombat Online. And of course, check out www.mortalkombatonline.com for all the latest Mortal Kombat news coverage. So, I really want to thank all you guys for watching. If you have any topics that you want to suggest, of course leave me a comment in the video below. You can also catch up with me on social media. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at tabmock99. I've also got a Discord server of my own. I'll put a link to that in the description. Make sure you leave a like on this video. That always helps me out when you do that. And if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when new videos drop. Until next time, this is tabmock99, hoping you had a bloody good time.